Hello everybody, and welcome to the first online recap of economics for this year. Again, these will be posted at the end of every week, so if you were here and you just weren't sure of the major themes of the week, you're a little sleepy, whatever it is, feel free to check these out and be able to go over the major themes. If you were not here, this should also provide a good look back as to what you missed. Now, for week one, once we got through the initial schedule change days, the introductory to class, going through the syllabus, helping you understand how to do the outlines and the homework, we started talking about the basic themes of economics. I broke down the two major fields of economics, beginning with macroeconomics, the large scale, the national level and the international level economics. And throughout this class, we'll talk a great deal about global trade and how that affects your life and everybody else around the world. The other side of economics is the microeconomic side. Microeconomics being the personal finance, the small business management, and of course we'll do a lot with that as well. To begin lecture in the week, we talked about the basic economic term, scarcity. Scarcity, in other words, the fact that there is not enough resources for everybody to share in an equal fashion. Economics is about the decision-making behind who gets what and how that goes down. Globally, of course, there are the haves and the have-nots. There's a lot of politics involved with that, and throughout this class we will analyze that. Most of the world, of course, struggles. Scarcity is a way of life. They don't have the basic needs met. And that leads us to the first big economic term I had you guys look at, need. I showed you my experience with this image when I was in Central America and talked about how people in the way of life there is just about food, water, shelter. The needs like you have, the cell phone need and the interaction need and the Facebook need, it's not the same. It's a very different culture, and of course in this class we're going to talk about how different cultures view needs versus wants. You focus on the wants as the newest, the best technology, while others have very different wants. Now, as I said, politics get involved. So the basic and the extremes that I put out there, and of course most governments are in the middle of this, you have a command system. Socialism is an example. Communism is a much more strict example. But in the extreme that the image portrays, it's kind of where the government takes from the elite and then redistributes the wealth, versus a market system where the elite, in other words the business owners, especially the big business owners, are free to do what they will, and government is kind of subject to their will. And in this class, we're going to go through the ups and the downs of each system that is out there. My hope for you is that you learn that there are ups and downs. There is no such thing as a perfect system. Everything is give and take. Circular flow is a very basic economic concept we went through. Please make sure you have this. We talked about how costs in the factor market affect the price that a business has to buy things at, which again goes to the product market. And then, of course, it affects the household wanting to spend money in the product market. And this entire circle is the foundation to economics. Along with that, the four elements of economics: your land, your labor, your capital, and your entrepreneurship. These are the basics to get any product made. Other basic concepts we talked about, the notions of value and worth, which are really both theory. Value is where you have that dollar amount that you can associate with it, and of course we'll talk about how people set the prices in the market. And worth, well, that's something you can't put a dollar amount on. For instance, we discussed in class, what is your education worth? How much will your education affect your life? Next week we'll be expanding upon these things. Until then.